My next upload today is with regard to the progress and developments that have been made with mental health and well-being and recovery. The topic I'm going to raise in this upload is just to highlight a few contradictory matters about the causes that I'm observing and assessing in modern day society. So there have been individuals of causes that have been from their perspective positive causes, but from an objective perspective, I have a huge query about the authenticity of the causes that I'm noticing and witnessing throughout society at the moment. So as I'm a recovery advocate and a teacher, qualified professional, I'm raising in this upload the issue of practitioners that trespassed onto my property on a number of two occasions, and that had previously breached confidentiality and that had spoken defamatorily also about a person that they hadn't the first-hand experience to be discussing personal matters about at all. So that raises for me as a professional teacher, educator, recovery advocate, a huge concern with regard to the courtesy and common sense of a very sensitive profession that respects confidentiality and that sticks to policies and procedures as a fixed term and concept in any matters such as anything regarding anyone's personal well-being and lifestyle or livelihood. So since becoming a married woman, I've had the experience of individuals being quite cheeky, trespassing onto private property, facilitating falsehoods and breaching confidentiality. And as I've mentioned already, I was in the Kerry University Hospital, and it was an experience that shouldn't have happened, unfortunately. I experienced medical negligence and I experienced misdiagnoses, and for any married mother, qualified professional, to be experiencing such an occurrence is quite an insult to a person's IQ and EQ. So this upload is just with regard to the respect for recent mental health recovery developments, individuals that disrespect mental health, individuals that disrespect their professions and their field of study, and individuals that abuse their positions to facilitate wrongdoings that are inexcusable. So as a competent, capable, professional adult experiencing human rights violations, which is no easy feat, this matter is just to raise concern about the dubious nature of individuals' objectives that are quite contradictory, really, when observing both sides of the fence. And it's highly insulting as well when contacting relevant agencies that are to ensure that certain practitioners, all practitioners, uphold their functions, roles, positions with integrity and courtesy for those that they are serving and transacting with. Those that negate, deny, disrespect, and further threaten or exacerbate in any way is really a regressive effort in a modern day society, especially in a democracy. So as I live on my own, as I've mentioned throughout these uploads, there have been the issues of individuals breaching the protection laws that I'm entitled to, and there have been the issues of individuals threatened by the fact that I have had the experience of trespassers, practitioners of trespass, and that have been of misdiagnoses, defamation, breaches of confidentiality, and prescription of harmful medication that I shouldn't have ever have had been prescribed. So this is for those that are interested in mental health and well-being and recovery, and just how serious it is, regressive and highly discourteous for any newly married mother to have any experience such as I've experienced. And as regards the integrity and the Hippocratic Oath and the profession that practitioners are to really regard very highly, health is wealth, and any doctors or practitioners that disrespect women's health are not helping progress in any way. It's not helping women's rights, it's not helping children's rights, and so this matters just with regard to the obligations for doctors to respect their boundaries and that they aren't in a position to overstep the mark, and the issue as well of the contradictory nature of causes that aren't actually of an authentic, progressive objective. There's a dubious matter occurring that I have queries about, and I'm still waiting for the Mental Health Commission and the Medical Council to address all the wrongdoings that I've experienced as a mother and as an adult. So as I live on my own, this matter just raises how women shouldn't have to treat their own ailments themselves when, if or otherwise, doctors were fulfilling their objectives dutifully and respectfully. So I'd appreciate, as I've mentioned, the Ombudsman and the Ministers of the Government to address all the very serious wrongdoings I've experienced since becoming a married mom in 2015. And I'd appreciate those that are of negligence, misconduct, malpractice and violations of their own oaths against the Hippocratic Oath to violate and disrespect the objectives of medicine it's regressive in a modern day democracy. So during the pandemic, the matters I've been experiencing prior to pandemic are still an issue due to individuals of evasion and avoidance that have insulted women's health and children's health, unfortunately. And as I mentioned, as I'm of legislation with regard to childcare reform and health and well-being and the developments with NEFIT, it's in particular the issue of the insults and injuries I'm experiencing, as well as the denigration and debasement and defamation and disrespect. It's all very regressive. So I really hope the ministers of the government will find time after 3 years to contact me with regard to all the issues that have been caused unjustifiably.